We have major news for EA Sports College Football 25. A little over a week ago, the team at Tiburon invited a lot of people, not a lot of people, but very important people to a special event where they were able to play the game, see the game, kind of talk to the development team, and everyone is talking about the atmosphere just breathes college football when you play this game. And a lot of people also talking about that this isn't a Madden reskin. When you play this game, you're definitely going to feel it. And they were saying the development team just did a fantastic job with it, and a lot of people were saying that the development team is really fanatical about the sport of college football. So here's some of the things that I've been able to find. Been scouring the internet, looking at this site, that site, trying to find as much information as possible. So this is what I found so far. EA Sports College Football 25 is about 30% faster than Madden. That's some of the news that I saw, and as it should be, because the game is definitely a lot more wide open. The college football game is a lot more wide open than the NFL game is, so it should be a much more fast-paced game. I think the divide and players who are leading this game are going to be the players who are able to get stops and get pivotal stops. So if you can play defense in this game, I think you'll be super duper successful. So PFF helped with the player ratings, and there's a big disparity between elite players and bad ones. I think that's kind of cool. I think PFF does a great job with metrics, with the analytical side of things. So being able to help EA Sports with those ratings, I'm sure EA Sports already had an idea what a player should be rated, but with those just advanced stats and getting a team like PFF to help with the ratings is going to feel like a true college football game. Over 80 teams have sent over 1,000 graphics to EA. So you're talking about just with those 80 teams, over 80,000 graphics. The EA Sports College Football 25 kind of had at their whim in order to build a lot of these stadiums and construct that atmosphere. That way it's the exact same. From what I heard, the option game is really fun, and it's revamped, and also it's inverted. So back in the day, in order to hand the ball off, you had to press A. If you want to keep it, you press nothing. Now it's inverted. If you want to keep it with the quarterback, now you tap A. And I think that's better actually that way than the other way. It's going to be weird because a lot of us are just used to, tapping A when we want to hand it off. But if you recognize that the defensive end is crashing early and you press it early, you can get to the outside a lot earlier. So I like the fact that that's inverted, and I think that's going to be pretty cool. So the pitch plays on option also have changed as well, and now you can decide how light or firm you want to pitch the ball. I think that's cool as well. No high school and road to glory. This is kind of going crazy on Twitter. Well, actually, the artist formerly known as Twitter is actually X now. A lot of people are unhappy about that. I understand why they're unhappy. The nostalgia of just starting in high school and have to work your way up through the ranks, being able to play both offense and defense, and then kind of figuring out at the end what school you're going to go to and what position you're going to play. It'll take some of the lore away from Road to Glory. I don't believe it's the end all be all like some people believe, but it will take some of the lore away. There's like a power meter, and Madden kind of has this in a way when you throw the ball, similar to the kick meter in the old game. So you're going to have to be really accurate, and this is the scary part. Home field advantage also plays a key factor in this. Also, quarterback attributes affect the meter. The squiggly lines that have been there forever in these games are back. Audibles may not work properly in certain games, especially if you're in like the swamp or you in College Station, you're in one of these raucous environments. Every player's not going to get the call because sometimes it's really difficult to hear some of these calls. So the key thing to know is to know your reads, know all your players are positioned before you come to the line of scrimmage, and really try not to make as many audibles as possible. Now, if you have a lead and the crowd is kind of quieted a little bit, of course you'll be able to get your reads off just fine. And that'll be the key. Come out early, score, get a stop, quiet the crowd, then you'll be able to get into your game plans and your scripts the way that you want to. Also, Dynasty mode will be 30 seasons and up to 32 user teams. Back in the day, it was 60 seasons, and I forgot how many teams we were able to play with. I believe it was like 12 back in the day. So just having 20 more teams is phenomenal. The 30 seasons, I like that as well, but I know some people don't. I remember seeing, some of the Twitch people that I watch have played these full 60, seasons, so they're gonna knock out 30 in no time. Just like in the old games, you can build a program as a head coach offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and you can work your way up through the ranks. And then during coaches carousel, you'll definitely be able to, if you want to, you were a defensive coordinator and there's a school looking for a defensive minded head coach, you can work your way up the ranks. So I was certainly happy to see that as well. Custom conferences is a little weird this year. Like, you can't make a new conference, but it can be up to 20 teams in a conference. But the Pac-2 apparently is there. So if you want to balance out and have that Power 5 feel again, you can add more teams to the Pac-2 if you like. Also, there's generic FCC schools in Dynasty like there were in the past. Speaking of the coaching, and I should have mentioned this earlier, skill trees return from older game. One of the more interesting things that I saw, really interesting thing that I saw, is that NIL doesn't exist in Dynasty. And I kind of wanted that. I wanted to have to make those difficult decisions. I wanted and maybe they do this without the name NIL, where, your recruit points, if it's that last push and it's early, signing day season, and you're trying to hire sign this hot shot recruit, but also a player that you didn't expect to enter into the transfer portal is there. I wanted chaos in that realm, so maybe it'll still be there, but NIL isn't in this game. And really, I think the thinking behind it is that college football has been so fast changing, so ever changing, we don't even know if we'll be using that term. So I get why they kept it out of the game. But you can certainly use key players during the transfer portal. I was watching On 3 Andy Staples video earlier, and he was saying like they did like a simulation of a season, and Drew Allard hit the portal. So that's crazy. If those type of players are going to be available, it's definitely going to make you consider like, yo, do I want this hot shot 5-star recruit, or do I want to go get somebody like Drew Allard, who I know what they're gonna bring to the table? So that's really, really interesting. Also, songs like Mobama will be in the game, as well as Sandstorm, Zombie Nation, and Tsunami. I think that's just gonna give more of that game day feel when you're playing with certain teams. Unfortunately for Virginia Tech, Enter the Sandman is not in the game. I'm really heartbroken about that. That's something that I wanted to be in the game. Hopefully we hear about more songs. I think Jump Around definitely needs to be in the game. I've said that in earlier videos. At the end of the third quarter, playing in Madison against Wisconsin, that should be in the game. And also, you cannot export draft classes to Madden. This was another thing that really affected me, probably more than it should. Just like, the Road to Glory thing that I had in high school affected a lot of people. I think this affected me more because if I plan on playing Madden at all, the one thing I was going to be excited about is kind of, playing these seasons, being able to export those classes to Madden. But the fact you can't do that, it rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. I'm going to be completely honest. But you can export your Road to Glory player to Madden Superstar mode. So I think that'd be kind of cool, and see how Madden will be able to pick up that storyline from college. And will you be able to see some of the statistics that they had in college, and even see some of the highlights? I wonder how intricate it will be. As I always like to say, there are no more victories in a sport that survive and advance. That's why college football has the greatest regular season. And until next time, you already know what it is. One's up. Take care.